So I've played lacrosse since I was in first grade, and I picked up field hockey as like one of those like high school sports, middle school sports that you kind of just like play for fun. Ended up getting a bunch of calls on June 15th, which was the first day recruiting for field hockey, and a lot of the schools were like, look, like we're interested in you playing two sports, like let's follow up the conversation. So came up to Michigan on my visit, I believe September 2nd, and recruiting opened September 1st. And I just got on campus and I said to my dad, I was like, this is the place for me. Like, don't want to go anywhere else. Went on a few more visits, and the only place I could think of was Michigan.
What's the culture like around this team and this group of women as you guys are competing in field hockey now?
It's great. I unfortunately did tear my ACL, so I was out this year. So I wasn't fully on the field with them and experiencing as much. But a lot of the same team that came back from last year, I think. It was great integrating the freshmen and just keep building from last year with new Christy as our new head coach. Definitely had some adjustments, but she was great and super excited to learn from her next year again.
Welcome everyone to another episode of The Lab presented by Champ Media. My name is Ben Lyons. Thank you for hanging out with us each and every week, getting you up close and personal with the great student athletes at the University of Michigan. And we have no bigger star than a two-sport athlete, a legend in the making, Zoe Martin. It's great to connect with you, have you on the show. Welcome. I'm so excited to learn about your journey and your story. How you doing today?
Good. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I heard about this two-sport athlete at Michigan. I was like, wait, what's going on? We got the next Deion Sanders on campus in Ann Arbor. And tell me about your journey playing field hockey and lacrosse and how you ended up in Ann Arbor at the University of Michigan.
I've played lacrosse since I was in first grade, and I picked up field hockey as like one of those like high school sports, middle school sports that you kind of just like play for fun. Ended up really liking it, playing for a while. I ended up playing club and then went on some recruiting trips, and I was like, interesting, like I'm doing club for both. I don't really know which one I want to pick, and kind of talked to some people, and I was like, oh, like what if I play both? Like who knows? And people were like, you kind of have to like wait till you get recruited and see what people say. Ended up getting a bunch of calls on June 15th, which was the first day recruiting for field hockey. And a lot of the schools were like, look, like we're interested in you playing two sports. Like, let's follow up the conversation. So came up to Michigan on my visit, I believe September 2nd, and recruiting opened September 1st. And I just got on campus and I said to my dad, I was like, this is the place for me. Like, don't want to go anywhere else. Went on a few more visits, and the only place I could think of was Michigan.
It's amazing that you were able to not only get a scholarship for one sport, but to be able to play two at this level. It doesn't happen that often. Was there any pushback from some schools where they were like, we love you for field hockey, but why don't we keep it field hockey? Or, obviously Michigan was open to the idea of you doing both, but did you get some pushback from schools?
Yeah, I definitely did. And I think there were some schools going through the process that were like, oh, like you could play both for like 2 years, but like maybe after that. And I was like, if you're already going into this with the idea of no, like that just kind of like sets me off. Like, I'm like, nah, I don't really think so.
What is it that you instantly knew about Ann Arbor that made you realize it was the place for you?
I wanted a really big like sports school. I came from a pretty small private school in high school. So I wanted big sports, big football, like big, like great academics. And I think Michigan just has it all. Definitely was a little hesitant about the cold, but it makes it worth it.
You're from Colorado. Hold on. Challenge flag on the field, right? That's where you grew up. So what are we talking about here? It's a little different, I guess. But
a little
come on,
different.
It's not that bad.
Yeah. It's actually like 50 degrees and sunny in Colorado right now. So.
But were you growing up a skier and on the mountain, mm-hmm. or were you just playing field sports all the time? Or all your friends out there snowboarding and skiing, and you were playing field hockey, huh?
Yeah, I definitely skied a lot more when I was younger, kind of hesitant, didn't want to get hurt when I was like getting more into recruiting, but grew up skiing, love the mountains, love the outdoors.
I know. I'm a kid from New York City, so there's always a time on the mountain where like I'm on a piece of plastic on a mountain. I'm like, what am I doing here? I should probably just go back down to the bar. I'd be curious just about this sport of field hockey for you to share a little bit more about what it is you love about it, what it is that speaks to you, where did that passion come from? Because it's not a sport that's front and center on television or in media as much as, some other sports are. So where do you think that passion for field hockey came from?
I actually started playing field hockey in my backyard with my brother and my parents. So we had fun little kind of fiddle field hockey sticks, and the four of us would play against each other. And I was like, okay, I'll play this in middle school. Ended up loving it and being a little bit better than I thought I was going to be. And I was like, wow, okay, I'm actually kind of good at this. So I ended up keep playing, staying with it. And I just love scoring. I think I really like how different it is between lacrosse and field hockey. I think you don't spend as much time on the ball in field hockey, I guess, as you do in lacrosse. And I think for me, those two different aspects are definitely different, but at the same time, both of them, goal scoring, that's my thing. That's what I love. So they both.
Well, I read up on you. You scored a lot of goals in high school. You scored a lot of goals in high school. Do you have a signature celebration? Is that frowned upon in that sport? Is that celebrated?
Not really. We don't, I can't think of any celebrations. I remember there was one, I did score my 100th career goal in field hockey in the state championship to win my senior year. And I think I just remember jumping up, couldn't even control myself, just so excited.
Tell me about your first practices at the collegiate level playing at Michigan. Did you see that the game was faster? Was there something you noticed about collegiate field hockey that was, a level up from high school?
Definitely. It was a jump for me. It took me a little while to get used to it, especially coming from Colorado. And field hockey is not as common, so it's not as high competition as a lot of the other girls we're used to. We also play on water turf here, which we do not have in Colorado, so I didn't have much experience on that. But I remember walking out to Michigan, I was like, wow, this is going to be fun and this is going to be hard. But after a few weeks, I got it down. I absolutely loved my teammates, absolutely loved freshman year, learning from the fifth years. Couldn't have pictured it better beginning.
That's cool. What's the culture like around this team and this group of women as you guys are competing in field hockey now?
It's great. I unfortunately did tear my ACL, so I was out this year. So I wasn't fully on the field with them and experiencing as much. But a lot of the same team that came back from last year, I think it was great integrating the freshmen and just keep building from last year with new Christy as our new head coach. Definitely had some adjustments, but she was great and super excited to learn from her next year again.
Yeah, what is it that makes a great coach for you? What type of coach inspires you or motivates you? Or you've had a lot of coaches, I would imagine, over the years. What's she like?
Yeah, she's great. I really, to me, have great relationships with coaches that are super hard on the field, but definitely the second you walk off the field, will be there, support you, care about you. And I think it's been great. Christy also tore her ACL when she was in college, so she understands it. So her being there and helping me understand and just being by my side has been amazing.
Going through that rehab process, what advice could you share or words of encouragement to other athletes out there in other sports who face adversity and have a challenging injury? Because a lot of athletes obviously go through this, but what's it been like for you, and how are you kind of facing it head on?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I learned from this is it sounds so corny, but everything happens for a reason. And I remember I went to do cut, fell down, and someone came up to me 2 minutes after I got hurt and was everything happens for a reason. And the moment I was get away from me. I don't want to hear that. But truly, I think this experience has shown that. I actually got cleared this morning to.
Yes, let's go. Congratulations.
So today's been a very great day for me. Thank you.
Yes, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, right? Is not getting overwhelmed by the end goal, but just kind of these little checkpoints and moments, I would imagine.
And that I think is the process that helped me get through it, is little goals, looking forward to timeline, but everyone's timeline is different. Everyone's process is different. And making sure you have the people around you that you can lean on no matter what, even if they've been through it or not. But this experience teaches you so much about yourself. And I obviously wish I did not tear my ACL, but forever grateful from everything I learned from it.
Obviously wasn't the plan, but afforded you, I would imagine, some Netflix time. What are we watching? What are your shows? What are you into? A
lot of family time too, actually, when I got hurt. My mom and I watched a show called Younger on Netflix when vividly, I remember like I went home to get surgery, and that's all we would do is sit on the couch and just watch the show. And it's very good. It's about this woman who she's 40, but she like gets divorced and she loses her job, and so she goes back and pretends to be 26 again and like follows her life. Super interesting. We loved it. Great bonding.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned your mom and family. I know you come from a family that professional athletes and college athletes, right? Or didn't your folks play big time sports? Yeah.
Yeah.
What did your mom play?
My dad played. I like to like joke around with him, but he played baseball for all of at the University of Denver. He played soccer for a year, so he likes to be like, I'm a dual sport athlete, but I was like, you made it a year. And then my mom ran cross country and track at Binghamton University.
So cool. Obviously, they understand the lifestyle of a college athlete, but the landscape's so different now.
Totally.
Mom and dad didn't have to deal with NIL, social media, all these other things that are now obviously a part of big time college sports. I feel like your name comes up a lot in this NIL conversation when we're here at Champ Media talking about different athletes and, people who are active on social and doing stuff. So what's it been like for you navigating that part of your collegiate experience?
It's definitely been interesting. It's been fun. I've had great opportunities that come from it. I think it's definitely challenging sometimes just being a female athlete playing field hockey and lacrosse and surrounded by a lot of great sports of football, basketball, hockey. Things are definitely different for us, but making do with what we have and great opportunities and great people that want to help us and reach out to us. And I think for me, it's been super beneficial, sharing and how proud I am of being Jewish. And I think that's helped me connect with you in a lot of other ways. And that's something that I'm definitely proud of and happy to be a part of in terms of NIL.
Well, that's what's so cool now is that, through social and different media outlets, you can express parts of yourself or things that you're passionate about that other generations of athletes might not have had, the opportunity to do. I hear you're part of this this competition with Manischewitz. This is a wild promotion or a deal. Yeah, walk me through that. I just saw a glimpse of it before we jumped on the pod, so I'm curious to learn more about this Manischewitz thing you're doing.
I mean, I am super excited. I was not really expecting it. I kind of Jeremy reached out to us all at Tribe NL and was like, hey, you should apply for this. And my family had kind of talked about it in the past with the football player from BYU that was doing it. And I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. And then got picked as the Final Four. And now I'm definitely competing up against some hard competitors, but going to do my best because I think this would be great. And I'd love to just represent the brand and love to be someone that younger Jewish athletes can look up to.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's just community and inspiration. I'm a big believer in if you see it, you can be it, right? So the idea that you're out here representing who you are and being a two-sport athlete at a big-time place like Michigan, that's a big deal, Zoe. That's something to celebrate. And you're obviously facing, a bump in the road with this injury, but like that woman said who you wanted to hit with your stick when she was over you, everything happens for a reason, you know? Do you see yourself, I don't know, 20, 30 years from now still being a part of field hockey and lacrosse in some way? Do you have, I don't know, some other aspirations in life and what you want to do professionally or interests to explore, or where do you see yourself, down the road? Yeah,
I think I'm super interested right now, career-wise, working in sports, media, management, marketing, something like that with professional sports. Definitely think I want to coach field hockey and lacrosse at some point when I graduate. Probably going to make my kids at some point play them. But definitely want to keep in touch and see how the sport keeps growing and still promote it. And I am a big supporter of building lacrosse in Israel as I'm on the team. So definitely that will be a part of me for a long time. And I still want to continue, even after I stop playing, supporting that.
I mean, it's so cool. You get to play on all these different teams throughout your career, whether it's big time high school or it's in college on an international level. What's that feeling like when you're representing your country and competing in the sport that you love?
It's amazing. I was very shocked when I made the team at 15, but also one of the best experiences I've ever been a part of. I talked to all the girls that were on the team still. We're scrimmaging Pitt next weekend, and one of my teammates is a coach at Pitt. So I'm very excited to go and see her. And I think it just changed who I was as a lacrosse player. And I'm just forever grateful to represent my family and my history and make my mom and my grandparents proud.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Really, really cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You mentioned lacrosse and field hockey, obviously being a little different than football and basketball and hockey at Michigan. But I don't know. I would imagine that a position that you're in as an athlete, you kind of get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Because you get the big time college athletics, and then you get the experience of being like a real student on campus, and you can do the things that real students do.
Totally.
And sometimes, the players in those other sports don't always experience. So what are you studying kind of away from field hockey and lacrosse? Are there certain classes you've enjoyed in your time in Ann Arbor?
Yes, I'm actually taking a What is Judaism class right now, which I'm really enjoying it. I'm taking a video games class, and I'm taking a history of nutrition, which for a business student is definitely not the norm.
Okay. I talk a lot about this on the show, and my producer, Aaron, can attest. I feel like I pulled a fast one on everyone when I was at Michigan taking Japanese anime, like the history of the culture of anime, and using my nephew at the time for it was my cousin at the time. My cousin at 5 years old was a source on a Pokemon paper that I wrote. But you're taking a class on video games?
I am very excited. You pick a video game, play it the entire semester. We have papers about it explaining your learning, how you grow from the game. There's plenty of athletes in the class, actually. There's a lot of us, but I am very... Surprise
on that one. Whoa, okay. Do you have to pitch the video game that you're playing to the professor?
Yes.
Do you say, okay, at the start of this semester I'm going to play Super Mario Brothers and here's why?
Yep. We wrote up, it was due actually last night, and you wrote up a little bio about the game you picked, links that you researched, people you talked to about the game, why you're picking it, why you think it'll be beneficial for learning. So I'm definitely excited.
What's the game that you picked? I'm fascinated by
I picked Heyday.
Okay. Not familiar.
I also am not really familiar. I know people have played it, and someone kind of threw out the idea, and I was like, you know what? It's about learning a new game, so we're just going to kind of go in blind and see what I learn.
When you tell your mom and dad that you are taking video game class in college, how does that conversation go in the Martin household?
They definitely laugh. They know that I love being a business student, but I'm not really a big finance, investment banking, wealth management. That's not really my thing. And I think they're super happy that I can also get my degree in business and focus on business, but at the same time enjoy all the classes that Michigan has to offer. And they're in full support of it, even though sometimes they laugh a little bit, but they're okay, go ahead and do it.
I love it. You got to think outside the box, and it's all big business, and to do something a little unconventional is kind of the way to approach it, I think.
Totally. Makes awesome. It more fun and more surprising.
Yeah. So what are you most looking forward to getting back on the fields? And it's so cool when I'm interviewing you. You're the only athlete I've ever said that. Not the field, the fields.
Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to when you're getting back in action from this injury?
I think just getting back and competing again, and there's so much different. I love my teams. I love spending time with my friends, but there's definitely a different level of when you're on the field with them, beating other teams, losing the other teams, just competing and having each other's back. I truly have missed that being on the sidelines. And I think just being able to play and enjoy it, you really miss it when it's gone. And I just can't wait to get back and do the little things, even if it's running a run test or sprints after practice, the things that everyone hates. I just can't wait to do that again because I've missed it.
See, that's how I know these Michigan athletes, everyone, are wired differently, right? You're overcoming an injury. You're trying to get back on the field. You're I can't wait to do wind sprints after practice.
In the moment, I'm going to hate it, and I'm not going to enjoy it. But I'm going to remember, and I'm going to look back and be I remember when I couldn't run, and I said to my parents, the only thing I want to do right now is go out and do sprints.
Yeah. We always like to ask student athletes on the show, what are your food spots on campus? Where could we see you pull up maybe?
My food spots, there's a lot of them. I live 3 doors down from Mr. Spots, so I spend a lot of time at Mr. Spots.
I'm jealous. Please send them my regards.
I will. I love getting dinner at Sava's or Monty or Black Pearl. Those are top ones for me. Trying to think what else. Love Strahan. Love Benny's for breakfast. It's a family. My family, every time they come and visit, we have to go to Benny's. Trying to think of what else now.
See, you're comfortable. You got your lay of the land there. It's starting to feel like home in Ann Arbor, which is really cool. And your travels around the world, representing Israel, representing the University of Michigan. Have you been wearing some gear with the Block M on it and been approached or in the airport? Or how do you kind of describe, the feeling of being a student athlete and representing Michigan out in the world?
I absolutely love it. I am so proud to be a Michigan student athlete. I feel like when I talk to my friends, I'm the only person that I will walk through any airport in any country and I will be wearing something with Michigan. Someone says, go blue. I was down competing in Argentina in the Maccabi games, and my dad and I went to a store and they were selling Michigan gear. And I was like, this is the only school you will see that happening for.
I love it. Do you have some significance behind the numbers that you wear in field hockey and lacrosse?
Lacrosse, I wore 23. Field hockey, I wore 23 in high school, and that was available. Sometimes I'm like, I was born on November 23rd. It was like, I don't know. It's kind of just like I picked it up in high school, and that's what I've worn. And I was like, it is what it is. LeBron James wore it. It's like Michael Jordan. So like, I don't know. I guess maybe that has something to do with it. And then I was number 3 for lacrosse in high school, and it wasn't available, and I ended up with 2, and I love it. Think it fits me.
Yeah. Are you superstitious? Do you have certain things you got to do before a game?
Not really, now that I think about it.
Right. There's nothing that's like, oh my God, I stepped on the line when I was running on the field. Now I got to do 10 jumping jacks. Yeah. No, there's nothing like that.
No, not really.
No. Do you have like a pregame meal or a routine at all, or something that kind of, calms you maybe if you're a little too excited?
I haven't been able to continue this routine, but in high school when I would play field hockey lacrosse games, my grandma lives 6 blocks away from me, so she would make me this sandwich. It was special turkey cheese sandwich that I would eat for every game, and if I didn't have that sandwich, I was like, the world's gonna end. And that was the only thing. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to continue that, but that's kind of the only thing I can think of.
All right, here we go. So in partnership with Manischewitz and Zingerman's, on the menu, we're going to get the Champ Media Zoe Martin's grandma's sandwich.
Yeah, that would be a dream.
The number 23/3.
I love that.
Right? Let's make it happen. We got to speak it into existence.
Yeah.
Lastly, I don't know, what would you say to a young Zoe who showed up on campus and didn't know what this experience was going to be like? You've been here now for a little while. Just talk us through kind of maybe some words to your younger self about what to expect from time on campus at the University of Michigan.
Yeah. For starters, it is going to be an up and down road. You're going to have some great days. You're going to have some rough days. But, the people you meet here are going to be your best friends. They're going to support you through it all. Your parents are going to enjoy it and come and visit. And at the end of the day, it is the place to be. And it was the best choice you could have made.
Oh, wise words. And you're going to play a lot of video games.
We're going to play a lot of video games. Don't worry.
Well, I know you got to run to practice, so I appreciate you checking in, and I hope we continue to catch up and hear about your journey on the field for field hockey and lacrosse.
Yeah.
Being a 2-sport athlete, it's very cool, Zoe. So best of luck, and best of luck in the Manischewitz contest. How can people vote for you or follow, or what's the deal with that? How do people find out more?
I'm going to have a link on when they send it to me, so I will share that with you guys, and I will have it on my page. So I will be spreading it everywhere as far as I can to get as many people to vote.
Awesome. We appreciate you checking in here in the lab. Zoe Martin hanging out with Ben Lyons on Champ Media. As always, go blue. Peace.
Go blue.